On this day, 11 years and 20 minutes ago, I was introduced to your Lordship's house. And I do think that my having signed this amazing amendment is a good way to celebrate those 11 years and 20 minutes. I have spoken many times in your Lordship's house about food and animal welfare and other connected issues, but I did not imagine that all this time later we would be talking about such a disgusting issue. It is truly disgusting. I admit I didn't know all that much about it, but I do know more now, and I've seen the photographs of fish that have been eaten through by lice and the amount of debris that ends up on our seabed. It is an unbelievable situation that we are allowing this, and not just allowing it, but we probably, most of us, eat salmon. I can only say to you, don't eat salmon unless it comes from Iceland or Canada. And one noble lord told me earlier that listening to Lord Forsyth made him feel sick, and I'm sure that was for the right reasons. I spoke at a PETA meeting just before this. That's a People's Ethical Treatment of Animals meeting, and used salmon farming as an example of how far we have to go still to actually live up to our reputation as an animal caring country. I would argue that this is a very damaging situation. And I hope that the debates on this amendment, both today and those at committee, are read and understood and acted upon by the Crown Estate Commissioners and the salmon farming industry. It's clear that the current rules for the Crown Estate are not good. They are not good enough for the environment, they're not good enough for animal welfare. And although I imagine the leases are quite profitable for the Crown Estate, they are shameful. And a spotlight has been shone on these harmful factory farms where fish are riddled with sea lice, pumped full of antibiotics, fed with pellets, crammed with other smaller fish, causing damage to their populations. And these fish, these salmon, can have double-digit mortality rates. Plus, of course, these fish farms, are detrimental to our native salmon populations, which are already at risk of collapse. But there's also damage to the seabed around these farms and damage to the ocean's ecosystems. Now, we still know very, very little about the ocean, and it's apocryphal that we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the ocean. And so, really, we should not be doing this to our seabeds. We can imagine just the amount of damage that tons of feces and drugs and antibiotics and corpses can do to our seabed. Absolutely horrific. And it's unconscionable that the Crown Estate should be profiting from such a harmful industry. As the Noble Lord the Minister accepted in response to this amendment in committee, the existing laws and regulations clearly aren't working to protect salmon populations from this toxic industry. I hope the Noble Lord the Minister has thought more about this and can give an update today. Now, in his opening remarks at day 2 of committee stage, Lord Forsyth called this a modest and uncontroversial amendment. Having looked more closely into this issue, I would say that this amendment is absolutely necessary, and it would be unforgivable of the government not to accept it.